Changes to the Toon Army lineup that drew 3-3 with Wimbledon last Sunday. It was the 10th time this season that Kevin Keegan had named this team. Newcastle have a poor record in recent years at Stamford Bridge. They haven't won there for 9 years. Well, Chelsea were unbeaten in their last 3 league games. Glenn Hoddle recalled Paul Furlong into the side. He hadn't scored a goal all season. And Terry Phelan, who'd recovered from his hamstring injury, made his debut for the Blues after his £900,000 signing from Manchester City. There was a show of unity at the Bridge. Matthew Harding was invited back into the director's box as his feud with Ken Bates was put on hold. Your match commentator is Martin Tyler.
Well, with Chelsea, you just never know. They really can turn it on when the odds seem to be stacked against them. But they'll remember the disappointment of a very poor start and eventual heavy defeat by Manchester United here earlier this season. They won't want that sort of thing to happen again for the championship challenger at Stamford Bridge. Furlong. And there's Terry Phelan coming in, almost making an amazing impact. Furlong in the wide position. Useful cross. Newcastle have been struggling in the air. Conceded 9 of the 14 goals they've let in the Premiership to headers. Petrescu. This is John Spencer with a sight of goal, and it's smothered behind for a corner by Hislop. Well, they've been getting plenty of the ball and showing signs of opening up the league leaders. Hislop pulls it down with the challenge coming in from Furlong, who's the closest Chelsea player to the Newcastle goalkeeper, who's hurt and is still on the ground. And this is how it happened. Ginola looking to work the left. Now, every time he goes down, he's got something of a reputation in his short time in England for doing it when he's not fouled. Now Newton. And Ginola got to it. Hislop just prevents the corner. And it's been given as a back pass. Well, Hislop obviously felt that he was entitled to pick that up, that Ginola just put himself in the way of the ball. An indirect free kick. Hughes! And a real chance for Chelsea to get the reward for the work they put in the opening 20 minutes. This opportunity coming from a mishap for Hislop. Wise floated it, Hughes unmarked, and the header could well have been better. Newton. Chelsea the sharper of the two sides. Hughes. Petrescu. Hughes! Well, he forced a save from Hislop this time, but it wasn't a difficult save. But again, Chelsea press. Again, Newcastle struggle. Again, it stays 0-0. Newton, have a play to get the better of Beardsley. Here's David Lee. That's a great ball in and met by Hughes' header. And Chelsea again find a way through with David Lee very prominent, Mark Hughes very prominent. It's a Chelsea corner. Hughes going to get it down. It was blocked by Ferdinand in the end. He's really hung this one up. And Bulbury is doing some pushing. Newton had the deck cleared for him. Even then couldn't find a shot to hit the back of the net. Wise, Petrescu dashing down the right, the pass just made him put the brakes on, but there was enough contact there to get a free kick in Chelsea's favour. This is something from the training ground. They've got 3 outside the area now, jogging in. In it comes, not very well from Wise. That's unusual from him. And he'll have another chance because it's another free kick, and again Ginola is the culprit. And he's saying, oh, you're doing the diving to Wise. And well, that looked a foul to me. And it was his second in quick succession. Looking for the Frenchman, a free kick for Chelsea. And a pumping header from Furlong. Unfortunately for him, and for his side, it was within the reach of Hislop. But that's an interesting ball for Ginola. It's a terrific ball, and it was a fine effort from Ginola. Karin had to drop quickly on. Furlong sent tumbling by Howie. Is it going to be another Newcastle booking here? But before the free kick can be taken, Shaka Hislop is going to be replaced by Pavel Srnicek. So on comes Srnicek, and of course was the first choice goalkeeper before Hislop. Straight away in the firing line, Chelsea have a free kick. They've got their arch plotter, Dennis Wise, over the ball. Is beaten by Petrescu. No sooner has he arrived as substitute for Hislop than Newcastle are a goal down, and Srnicek wonders what he's done to deserve that. The goal has been coming. Just a question of whether Chelsea, who are amongst the league's lowest scorers, could find the right sort of touch. Wise, elusive as ever. Hughes and Furlong, and it's beaten them both. Which did a little disservice to Wise, whose approach play was excellent, but Hughes is capable of coming up with something spectacular like that. In all the competitions this season, Newcastle played 20 previous games and only failed to score. That 1-0 defeat down at the Dell by Southampton in the early weeks of the season. Another free kick. And a chance to score here and wipe some of the smiles from Chelsea faces. Beresford takes it. That's Ferdinand's challenge. Ferdinand again. Oh, well, it's put wide by Peacock, and that's as close as Newcastle has come. The referee just had to intervene as Ferdinand ended up in the net, but crucially for Chelsea, the ball didn't go in. Ferdinand won it against Dubry. It was looping. Karin couldn't get to it. Off the bar, Ferdinand must have thought this was his moment. Great recovery from the goalkeeper. Not such a great shot on his left foot from Darren Peacock. Beardsley. We're 3/4 of the way through the match. Chelsea scored 4 minutes before half-time through Dan Petrescu. Just seen how narrow the margin is, and it's getting out of hand here. And more. Passions inflamed. Well, Hughes likes to go in, but was getting to the ball. And Peacock flailed away at Furlong. And when he was on the ground or getting up, he retaliated. Yellow card for Furlong. Not been a very good few seconds for Peacock, having missed that chance moments earlier. now booked. Ferdinand. Ginola. Beardsley first to it. Still with the energy to defy the years. Ginola. Oh, well, that was Rob Lee arriving with the volley. Now Barton. He's gone on well here, Warren Barton. Ferdinand! And Karin made the save look rather casual. The header was well directed, but just lacked the quota of power necessary to get it over the line and get Newcastle on level terms. But it's a better second half, considerably, for Kevin Keegan's men. Spencer again herring back to give Petrescu some protection. He doesn't need it. Another look at the watch from Roger Dilks. Typical Chelsea. This famously inconsistent club, which has been in the news for the wrong reasons, the boardroom politics, but they've reserved their best for the best. Dan Petrescu scoring past the recently arrived Pavel Srnicek on as a substitute for Shaka Hislop 4 minutes before half-time. A Glenn Hoddle signing has settled it here and sent Newcastle United to only their second defeat of the season.
Didn't do enough to win it. Played, by our standards, very poorly first half, and not just one or two players, the whole team. Second half, a few home truths came out, you know, what we've got to do if we want to be the best team in this country and stay up the top. And I thought second half did enough to please the manager, but not enough to win the game.
That's probably the best we've played this season. Certainly the first 45 minutes, you know, was some great play, and we created a lot of good chances and may have come in more than the 1-0 up.
The only thing probably that we can look on as good about the day is that the other results didn't exactly go against us, and I don't think we'll win the league with 39 points, but if the others keep losing, we might.
Final question, will it help that the team was cheered off side by side by the chairman and Mr. Harding sitting in total harmony, having watched the team play in total harmony? Will all that help if it subsided?
I think they were holding hands, I heard. No, it was obviously a productive meeting on Thursday, and rightly so. It's nice to see that there's a bit of reconciliation there. What's actually going on behind the scenes is down to the two men, and it's got to be what's right for Chelsea Football Club and the supporters, because they're the main people.
And it looks as if things are being sorted out in the boardroom, which is good news for everybody. Were you impressed by Chelsea, Clive?
Yeah, very much so. I think they've had their up and down time at this season so far, but I think finally there'll be a consistency. Great result last week at Manchester United, and follow that up against Newcastle, and they've got a great record against Newcastle, obviously with a cup game coming as well. They'll be very confident of
Extra
progressing.
needle, and it was a well-taken goal by Petrescu, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. It was a very poor header from Les, actually, man in form, and it was an attacking header. He headed it down instead of up and away. Good touch and a lovely finish. Goalkeeper hasn't touched the ball. He's come on as a substitute, and he's had to pick the ball out the back of the net.
Yeah, you'd think that was more to do with all the attacks that Chelsea had got. They've been going forward the whole of the first half, and something had to give, rather than poor defending by Newcastle.
Well, yes, I think Chelsea created chance after chance. It wasn't a case of really a 1-0 victory and they'd snatched it with one goal. They certainly created enough chances to have won the game, maybe by 2 or 3. Yeah,
and yet, as Clive mentioned, Shaka Hislop had just gone off. What difference do you think it's made to the team that they've got that competition for the goalkeeping place, Dean?
Obviously, you know, it's a strong area, and obviously if one player goes out, you've got another good replacement coming in. I think it was great that Srnicek's first touch was picking the ball out of the back of the net, though.
Exactly, but Hislop had made a few good saves earlier on in the game.
Yeah, he'd made a string of fine saves, and as we see here, you know, a lot of action was placed in the penalty area.
Yeah, he's been quite an influence for them this season, hasn't he?
He's big and strong, and he does command his area, which is obviously gives defenders some confidence as well.
Yeah, he's been sort of first choice for them.
Yeah, he's came in and he's warranted, you know, the first team place where Pavel Srnicek was, you know, there all last season.
So, what do you think in terms of the Championship? Then is this result going to have make a lot of difference?
I think
to Newcastle?
Kevin Keegan said some great words after the game. You know, he said we've got to find out about ourselves if we are good enough. and he obviously believes they are. I believe they are, to be honest with you. They're the best team so far. And but like I say, when the time is to sort of look at yourselves, you've got to stand up and be counted.
Yeah, in fact, he also is worried now that he's got the loss of Shaka Hislop for at least 2 weeks with that injury, as well as a worrying injury to Robert Lee, who's been very influential for them, hasn't he, Clive?
Yeah, I think he's, he's gone on record as saying he's probably the best midfield player in the country at the moment. And it is a really testing time now. All of a sudden, from having a team that's been unchanged for 10 games, he loses at Chelsea yesterday, and now it's a case of having to juggle around and bring in the players that he has in his squad. And it really is going to be a crucial period. The Christmas period, as everybody says, is crucial. And it is very much so now. It's going to be interesting for Newcastle to see how they can fill those little gaps, see if the squad is strong enough to obviously maintain their challenge for the Championship, which is strong at the moment. And I think the two teams that are there at the top, I think it will be between them.
Yeah.
But it is a testing time for Kevin Keegan and his men.
Well, also, as far as Robert Lee's concerned, he's apparently joined the England squad for training, but is unlikely to be fit enough to play on Tuesday against Portugal.